Hey guys, it's Relentless Trader and welcome back to another recap. Now, by the thumbnail, of course, you guys will be able to tell that I'm down a good amount, almost $1,100 today. Now, after yesterday's recap, right, where I was talking about how good I felt about, figuring it out, right, figuring out some of these volatile stocks, I would like to start off by saying that being red today has nothing to do with that or being aggressive or anything, right? I had a couple of mistakes, right? A few mistakes, right, which was a little uncalled for, right? Hot key errors and then a share size mistake, which is what really cost me, right? A share size mistake. The last time I had a pretty big loss, this was like the same reason. Um, I forgot what I was trading. I think it was maybe SUNW, and I switched over to AREC and forgot to change my share size right out of that halt. There was a halt. Um, let's pull it up here on E-Trade, right? There was a halt. E-Trade, you can see the halt time is a bit better, right? Especially on the 1 minute. Let's pull it up. All right, just pull this over. So right here, what time was that? Around 9:37, 9:36, there was a halt. And in this red candle right here, right, I saw some nice buyers around this level of 380. Was gonna jump in there with limit order, right? It was looking pretty good. And I wanted to take 400 shares. Instead, I took 1,200 shares by accident. And, boom, that was one of my first trades. Put me down $550 to start off the morning. So, that's how the open started, right? That's how the open started. It was a bit unexpected. This is not the last time this will happen to me. It's not the first. Sometimes, things are going so fast, you forget to do something and, it costs you, right? But this stock here, AREC, down 765, man, and just 6,000 shares traded, which sucks. Right, that's the part that sucks the most about this loss right here. But it was, to be honest, it was a good moving stock. I mean, it did well. The mistake is what really got me in the red on this one. I did attempt a few trades over the highs right here for a break of 5, and ended up giving back an extra $260, right? That's what got me in the red by the extra $200 there. But overall, it was a decent moving stock. Opened up, came up a bit, right? Pulled back, and then red to green. Boom. Anybody who caught the red to green back over VWAP, man, those are the people who did well. Break of 3. And with day trading, there's such a fine line between being red and being green, man, because I was so close to getting this trade over 3. I was just 1 second late. I saw it, set it in the chat room, pulled it up on Ameritrade, and boom, I clicked over E-Trade to type it in, AREC, enter. By the time my screen came back up, right, because now the level 2 will be up from AREC, right? By the time the level 2 came up, it's already at 310, and it's like, man, I really wanted that entry down there, 3, could have added into the position over this level of 350, right? Because this thing started ripping. I mean, there was some other areas to get in it as well, but 350 was another important area to watch, pre-market highs and that kind of a thing. But this thing just started taking off, man, and unfortunate that I missed that trade by a couple seconds. And maybe if I did get that trade, maybe out of the halt, it's like, what, I probably wouldn't have been as interested because I would have probably been in, a good amount in the green. Probably would have been saying, what, let me just ease it back. Probably would have had more control, is what I'm saying. Not that I chased it up there or anything, right? When it had resumed, I was watching something else, maybe OPTT or one of the other ones, but again, was looking to get into that trade out of the halt with just 400 shares as opposed to 12. But that was AREC, not too bad. OPTT, this one here is more disappointing, man, because pre-market in this range right here, I was looking for a couple of trades, and I ended up getting a bit carried away, right? I got a bit carried away because SUNW pre-market I did really well on. I was already up 215, right, in this range right here. Made $215, in pre-market here around 8:46. So very early in the morning, already up $200, right? And if we look at the time, right, one of the last trades was around 8:51. This is my first official day trading pre-market, right? I've been seeing countless setups time and time again, and I'm like, yep, today's the day. Got my hotkeys in order and everything. So did pretty well on this one, and I got ahead of myself, man. This is why I was red on OPTT in pre-market, because I got ahead of myself, right? What time was this? You know, let's see, 9, yeah, going towards 9 o'clock. Got ahead of myself and over traded a bit right here in this range. Over traded a bit and ended up going down, I think 160, right? Giving back a lot of the pre-market profits I made on SUNW, which is a bit disappointing. And then before we finish up on this one into the open, PECK. PECK, 200 shares. You can see this is a big loss. 200 shares in at 1382. Looking for the high of day breakout here on this candle, man. You can see we had a nice 1 minute pullback. We had good consolidation. Thought we were going to get the breakout right here over this level of 14. Because we hit 14.19, it dipped down a bit, was holding nicely. I was watching for that back over 14. Was in at 82. We came up on some volume to 14, right? Already up 18 cents. It was looking good. And then boom, back down, stopping out on the bid at 13.40. So that was a pretty big loss, down $84 there. Only trade I took on this one. It was a bit disappointing. This trade here, red to green, I was watching right here. It dipped down. I'm like, you know what? Volume's too light. And then, you know, the next 2 minutes is up. So I missed that trade there into the open. But PECK, $84 loss. And then again, like I said, down like 150 on OPTT. So I ended up giving back my pre-market gains, right? Up 212 to the open only being up $15, right? So pre-market, although it went well, I would say overall, the only issue was that I got ahead of myself, started feeling too good, right? Too good and got too aggressive, which doesn't usually happen to me, but you know, we're not, I'm human, right? I'll get eventually, some of the emotions do, you know, it does get to me a bit. But unfortunate there that I gave back profits, right? Getting overzealous, too excited. It's like, yes, finally trading pre-market, doing well. I want to keep this up and overtraded, right? Overtraded in this range. So OPTT into the open now. This here was a problem. This trade, because I was watching it so much pre-market, I already knew where the key entry was for the gap and go setup, which was over this level here of 25, right? Red to green, ABCD, entry of 309, 310, right? Which I did take down here. It didn't really work out. Double top to 10 right here, right? 09 and 10, double top. But here it came up, and then we had resistance at 25 and 27 in this range. So you can see it tested it again right here. Didn't quite break 24 high. So over that level of 25, man, I was watching this thing. I had my share size set, and my hotkey, for whatever reason here, and I was getting in so early, man. I was getting in at 312 right here on this green candle. I was getting in at 312. Even if I had gotten the higher fills, let's say at I think on the ask at the time was at 14, I would have gotten in there at 12, added a 20 at 25 and 27, right? Probably like a 3,000 share position, 1,000 share blocks, 900 share blocks. And this would have been a beautiful, like the morning could have been so different. Like this right here could have been a beautiful trade, because over this level of 30, I mean, this is the 1 minute chart we're looking at right here. You can see this, you can see how aggressive this candle was. I mean, it was beautiful. Big breakout at 360. That could have been a nice 30-cent win, you know, 3,000 shares, but it did not happen. Hotkey did not fire off. I'm not sure if I clicked shift. I was shift D. Shift and D is for me to buy on the ask, right, with the limit order right there. Shift D. So I had my hotkey set, and I guess maybe I was hitting control. I don't know, man. It's weird. I felt like I had the right I had the the right key selected, but you know, it just did not work out, man. It was a bit disappointing. And you know, we missed this beautiful trade, but that, you know, not a big deal. So I was down 160 on this one into the open, and took another loss here on a bit of a fake out, trying to get in there for three, stopping out 97 as it came up in this range here. Took a few attempts and just did not get good trades. Break of three right here. You can see, you know, not really getting to fully capitalize on this 1 minute setup here as well. And then this one here, I ended up not getting the take because we had the fake out, right? So high of 305, we only hit a high of 310. So I'm like, you know, what does this thing want to do? So on this 1 minute setup right here, I'm like, you know what, I'm not sure. And then it goes to 319 and then 325. So I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. So today was a decent day. I mean, it wasn't a bad day, just a few fumbles with the hotkey. And then, of course, the mistake of using more sizing than I would have wanted to on the other stock, right? So let's say a couple of things. Let's say at pre-market, you know, I was able to keep composure and not be too excited, right? Could have been coming into the open with a $200 profit, right? With $200 in profit. Let's say we did get that trade right here and was able to make, even if it was just 20 cents on the 3,000 shares, right? That would have put me up, what was that, 600, right? 3,000 shares, 10 cents is 300. Yeah, times two, that would have been $600, right? That right there could have already been, and let's bring that down. Let's put that at 10 cents, right? 300, right? 300 plus the 2 from pre-market, and that's, you know, that's estimating that pretty low, right? That could have been $500 worth of profits right there by 9:31 a.m. That's how much different the day could have been had those few circumstances worked out a bit better, right? So it wasn't a terrible day, really. Things just went the other way, is what I would say, right? And the difference of being up that amount, at that time of day is that I would reduce size completely to not give back profits, right? And would have took the rest of the day easy, pretty much, just few small scalps, and look to maybe go up another $200 to $300 at most, right? With the smaller share size. But you know, instead things did take the turn for the worst, unfortunately. But a couple of key things, right? In trading, it's very important. It's very important to be able to keep your cool, keep your composure, keep your poise, even when you're doing well, and more importantly, when you're not doing well, when you are in the red. Being able to understand, right? Understanding that in this market, we will have big losers unexpectedly. Yesterday, I was expecting to come in today and dominate, and I was so close to doing that. Today could have easily been, like I'm saying, you know, plus $500 day, $1,000 day, even pretty easily. But there's a very fine line in the sand between being red and, of course, being green, right? So we gotta always be careful, be composed, and of course understand that in this market we will have big losers unexpectedly, and when it does happen, it's very important to remember to not get that, you know, tunnel vision and go crazy. Just stay calm, relax, understand what's happening, and know that, you know, it's a drawdown, yes, but it's not the end of the world, right? I'm down $1,100, not a big deal. Even if it takes me a week, 2 weeks, a month, right? You know, I'll bounce back. I've had big days before, big green days, big red days. This is nothing new, right? So it's just a matter of keeping it up, keeping it going, and of course bouncing back, right? But that was OPTT, POLA, the energy solar stocks, man. So, you know, some pretty decent moves. And again, SUNW was the one I was up to 12 on, and then ended up giving back profits here on a fake out over the VWAP, unfortunately. Right, it came up here for a test and failed high of 466 and pulled back. But it wasn't a terrible day, man. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to the next day as usual, right? So tomorrow, gonna come in, look for a good couple of setups same way. I will be trading pre-market. If you guys are here early, I wouldn't mind going into the live audio earlier, let's say 9 o'clock, right? If I'm watching anything at that point in time. If not, I'll just be trading here. And I use smaller sizing pre-market, right? Nothing too aggressive. But of course, positive attitude, positive mindset. The grind does not stop. There is no loser that will discourage me from this market. God forbid I'm to blow up my account. Even that wouldn't discourage me. What the next step at that point would be is to get a new account, another account, and start again, because I know I can do it. I know it's being done, and there's no stopping me at this point, man. There's no stopping me. Of course, that's a very extreme case, but you know, like this loss here today, it does not affect me, right? On to the next day, on to the next trade, looking to be better. But of course, guys, if you did enjoy the recap, of course, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, share the channel, share the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new. If you do want to check out the chat room, always the first link down below, so check that out. And if you do join, say what's up, post your watch list, post some of the stocks that you're, some of the setups you're watching at, and that's gonna do it for this one. It's been RT, and of course, I am signing out.